Maryland's Missing and the Murdered is a weekly YouTube channel that covers the topic of missing and or murdered individuals from the state of Maryland. If you like this channel, please like and subscribe and click the bell so you'll be notified when the next cases are released. Any updates to cases will be pinned in the comments section of each video. 15-year-old Tara Gladden was in a secret relationship with 28-year-old Curtis Jamison. Her parents found out and sent her to visit relatives in California for 3 weeks in 1993. While Tara was in California, her parents began to file statutory rape charges against Jamison. When Tara returned to Maryland, her parents were worried that Jamison would either hurt her or persuade her not to testify in the rape case, so they kept a close eye on her. On the one day they left Tara alone, July 22nd, 1993, she disappeared. A day after her birthday, on August 17th, 1993, Tara's naked body was found in a drainage culvert in Columbia, Maryland. She had been strangled. For 17 months, Curtis Jamison was on the run for the murder of Tara. Once apprehended, he told investigators that he was with a friend on the day Tara disappeared. That friend was the 12-year-old who knew Tara and had a crush on Curtis. This 12-year-old eventually testified that she knew Jamison killed Tara, but she kept quiet because she didn't want to lose him. During Jamison's trial, none of his alibi witnesses would testify on his behalf. He was already in a Hagerstown prison for statutory rape of 2 other girls. He was convicted of Tara's murder on 10/24/1995 and was given life without parole almost 2 years later. 37-year-old Kendra was a bus driver for MTA Maryland. She had a 4-year-old with her fiance, 49-year-old Baltimore City Police Officer James Smith. On May 17, 2013, a neighbor called police about a domestic violence incident between Diggs and Smith. When police arrived, they could hear screaming from inside the home. They kicked the door in and brought Kendra outside, where she was bleeding and bruised. Smith refused to come outside, and Kendra advised the police officers that Smith was armed. Kendra was speaking to the officers on the sidewalk when Smith opened a window and began shooting. Officers took cover and made no attempt to protect Kendra before Smith shot Kendra in the head. Officers were under cover until other officers could have arrived to shield them so they could put Kendra into an ambulance. James Smith barricaded himself and the 4-year-old for almost 6 hours before he and the child came out of the house. Kendra died on the way to the hospital. On August 4th, 2013, while awaiting trial, James Smith committed suicide in his cell. Kendra Diggs' children, her 4-year-old son and a 20-year-old son, filed a wrongful death suit against Baltimore City, alleging negligence in protecting Kendra Diggs. They were awarded $850,000. 21-year-old James Stambaugh Jr. was an employee at Burger King in Hunt Valley, Maryland. He was working the closing shift on December 23, 2000. 2 others were working with him, William Jones and Denard Carver. The doors lock at 10 p.m. Carver received a call from an associate, Courtney Bryant, who asked to speak with Jones. At that point, Carver left the restaurant because Bryant had asked him previously to open the doors after 10 so he could rob the Burger King. Carver did not believe he was serious, but he was not going to wait around to find out. Jones opened the door for Bryant Andre Lawson and Breon English. Bryant was carrying a bag. Bryant and Lawson began struggling with James Stambaugh and binded his hands and face with duct tape, along with stabbing him. The fight continued outside, and they continued to beat Stambaugh. Bryant took Stambaugh's keys and began walking to the car, but was alerted by the other two men that Stambaugh was still moving. Bryant was afraid that if he left Stambaugh alive, he could identify him because he previously worked there. Bryant hit Stambaugh again until he stopped moving. The manager arrived in the morning and called police as the restaurant was ransacked. $2,800 was stolen, and police found Stambaugh by the dumpsters. He had died from blood loss. On December 4th, 2001, Courtney Bryant was convicted of murder and sentenced to death, which automatically was converted to a life sentence after Maryland abolished the death penalty. In prison, he continued being a butthead because he assaulted a corrections officer in 2017. Breon English was found guilty of murder on June 27, 2003, and was sentenced to 25 years. And he has been released on parole. Thank you for joining me this week. If there's a Maryland's Missing or Murder case you'd like to see on this channel, email me at marylandsmissing@gmail.com. X account is Maryland's M&M. Music is by Silent Vengeance. Sources will be listed in the outro. I'll see you again next week. Be kind to one another. You never know what will happen tomorrow.